In the second example for permutation, a high school performs a production of A Raisin in the Sun with each freshman English class of 18 students. If 3 members of the crew are decided at random, what is the probability that Chase is selected for lighting, Jaden is selected for props, and Emelina for spotlighting? So we have a total of 3 that are being selected from a group of 18, and we want to specifically know that Chase is chosen for lighting, and once Chase is chosen, then we only have 17 more to pick from for Jaden, and then only 16 more. So that is a permutation in which the total number that we are selecting from is 18, and we're selecting 3 people in particular. And there's only going to be one favorable outcome in which Chase is selected for lighting and Jaden for props and Emelina for spotlighting. So that would be 1 out of the total possible outcomes. So when I simplify that, I get 18 permute 3 is 18 factorial over 18 minus 3 factorial. And keep in mind, just because I want you guys to understand how this is the same thing as if I just did 18 times 17 times 16, is because the 15 factorials reduce out. So if we had just simply thought of it with logic, there's 18 people before anyone's been selected. Once Chase is selected for lighting, there's only 17 people to pick from, in which after Jaden is selected for props, only 16 people are left to choose for spotlighting, and that's Emelina. And so the 15 factorial, then the formula allows us to cancel that part out. So we're left with the probability is 1 out of 4,896. Now for example 3, what is the probability that a license plate using the letters C, F, F, and the numbers 3, 3, 3, and 1 would be CFF 3, 1, 3, 3. So we first start with the denominator, again, just trying to figure out what our total number of outcomes. So total number of outcomes. And because there is, instead of this being distinct letters and numbers, this is the non-distinct case where there's some repetition. So we first start off with what is our total number of letters that we get to pick from? And that would be, so total number of outcomes would be 7 factorial. And then from the 7 letters, we see that F is being repeated twice. So we divide out the number that is being repeated and the letters that are being repeated. So the total number of F's are 2. So this is for the F's. And then there's 3 3's, so divide by 3 factorial as well. And again, I'll write underneath that what that was for. So if we divide it out, 7 factorial times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 factorial, and I notice there's a 3 factorial at the bottom. So we have that the 3 factorials will reduce out, and we're left with 420. Now, the way that the arrangement is written, there's only one possible way for the arrangement to fall in that order. So it's 1 out of 420. That is the probability.